Let's go to the complete and narrated chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex 19. Ready? Then let's go after the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and before getting into the content, I ask you not to forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Well, let's get to the video. Side text: the past of Araya and Shinki, the birth of the deadly magnetic sand sealing blade. The chapter begins with a flashback. Shinki says, "This should be right, try holding it." Araya then says, "This is." Shinki then explains, "The katana has my chakra flowing through it. If we combine this with your wind-style kenjutsu, you should be able to manipulate my iron sand to some extent, just like I do." Page 2. Araya, holding the sword, says, "Are you sure about this? You'll never win a training fight against me again." Shinki replies, "Surely you're joking. Actually, this will be the perfect handicap." Araya then sheathes the sword and says, "You're underestimating me like this." Then we see Gaara talking to Yodo, while Shinki says, "All of this is to ensure my father's protection. If there's room for us to grow, then I want to try." Araya comments, "The only thing on your mind is that word, father." Shinki responds, "Of course, what's wrong with that?" Page 3, Araya says you should also pay a little attention to Yodo. Shinki replied, "You." Araya counters, "Seem to talk about her every time you open your mouth." Page 4, as Araya says, "That's not it at all." We return to the present with Araya attacking Ryu. Sarada says, "Great, the sand that was blocking Mitsuki's movements has been dissipated." Mitsuki says, "Thanks for saving me, Araya." We see the 4 facing Ryu. Araya then says, "Thank Shinki after we save him." Page 5. Araya then tells the Leaf Group to focus their attention on the attack and that he will deal with Ryu's iron sand. Sarada and Mitsuki say, "Got it." Then Ryu says, "You've become quite confident. I think you're underestimating me." Pages 5 and 6. Then we get a close-up of Ryu as he says, "That makes me furious." When he says this, we see that the iron sand reaches a new level of attack. This seems to startle Araya, but once again, with a sword strike, he manages to block the attack by cutting through the iron sand. Pages 9 and 10. This catches Ryu's attention. Then Araya speaks to Yodo by his side. She immediately turns her head, and it's an iron sand attack coming toward Yodo. Araya once again turns quickly, and then, with another sword strike, he blocks the sand once again. At this moment, we see Sarada launching herself into the attack. Ryu says, "I see your breathing is perfect." Then, on page 11, we see Sarada using Katan, launching a fireball at Ryu, who blocks the Uchiha's attack using an iron sand wall. Page 12, while Ryu is busy blocking Sarada's attack, we see snakes appearing from the ground behind Ryu. It's Mitsuki's attack, the serpents coil around the Shinju's body, who doesn't block in time. Pages 13, 14, and 15, we see Mitsuki already in Sage mode. He looks at Ryu and strengthens his attack. Then he strikes Ryu with even more snakes. Yodo says, "Did we get him?" Mitsuki replies, "Negative. He managed to escape. Does that mean he can turn his own body into iron sand?" Araya then says, "Don't lose focus. He could end up controlling you all." Yodo then says, "Listen up, everyone. The location at 2 o'clock is very weak, but the sound of friction between the sand grains is louder." Page 16, Araya says, "It's very likely that he's there. Leave this to me." Then, Araya positions the blade of his sword toward the location Yodo mentioned. Pages 17 and 18. This ends up pinpointing Ryu, who materializes. He says, "These guys, can they gather iron sand?" Araya shouts, "Now, get him!" At that moment, Mitsuki is already preparing another serpent strike. The snakes hit Ryu's body directly, and he spits blood. Page 20, then Ryu says, "Urk." Sarada tries to approach Ryu's body, but once again, he vanishes. Did we defeat him? Sarada says no, the damage wasn't enough. He just turned into sand again to hide. Mitsuki regrets the missed opportunity. Araya, confident, says, "We are cornering him. Don't worry." Page 21. Then Sarada activates the Sharingan and lands a Chidori on Ryu as he materializes. Page 22. The scene shifts to Konohamaru and Matsuri. She is very upset with him and says, "But I want to call you Konohamaru-chan. Why is that too much to ask?" Konohamaru stands firm in what he said. "Like I told you, I don't want you to call me that. I don't feel like it's right." Matsuri starts wrapping Konohamaru with her hair and says, "Who is this woman you called Mogi? Who is that bitch? This isn't fair." Konohamaru says, "I said no." That's reason enough. Page 22. Matsuri yells, "Stop being selfish. I'll call you however I want to call you. Look who's being selfish now, wanting to call me that way." Matsuri keeps accusing Konohamaru of being selfish and wraps him with the feathers of her head. Meanwhile, we see that Ada is watching everything. Page 23. Ida says, "This is just my opinion, but I don't think the name she wants to call him is the problem here. She's actually determined to be accepted in the relationship. You can't understand that, Konohamaru." Page 24, we then see Kashin Koji, who asks Ada how things are going. Ida says that Konohamaru is in trouble since he is challenging Matsuri. She adds that Matsuri is about to devour him. Then Koji asks about Sarada's group. Boruto wonders if they can defeat Ryu. Ada says that they are doing their best, and she doesn't know how this will end. At the very least, it would be difficult to help Konohamaru right now. Boruto wants to go help, but Kashin Koji stops him. "I know you want to help. I understand your feelings, but now is not the time to act." Page 25, we see Jura talking to Hidari, philosophizing. "From my point of view, this thing called life is idealized around following one's instincts and moving forward, striving to reach the final goal of achieving evolution. But because humans are part of society, they are bound by restraint, like reason, which clouds their ability to use their instincts to achieve evolution. What makes us different as beings who diligently follow our instincts is that humans, as life forms, bear the burden of mortality." Then Mamushi says, "I see. This sounds really ridiculous and all, but it has nothing to do with us, does it?" Page 26. "No, we can't guarantee that because that's not the only drawback of having intelligence. This notion also brings the risk of causing enormous problems for us, the Shinju. The notion of love, that's it." Page 27. We return to Matsuri and Konohamaru. She is still wrapping Konohamaru. She nervously says, "You are taking up all the space in my thoughts and making me act irrationally. Why do I have to feel this way? This is painful. This is irritating." Then Konohamaru asks her to calm down. Page 28. Then Matsuri says, "That's why. I need to devour you, so I never have to experience this painful feeling again." We return to Jura's conversation. He says, "Elif an excellent shinobi, but they prioritize saving Himawari. To my surprise, despite each of them knowing that it was a foolish decision." Page 29, Yamanaka Onojin was particularly reckless, and as a result, he ended up dying because of it. Then Hidari says, "So this love, is it a kind of disease?" Jura replies, "Well, with these foolish actions, we could say that love causes malfunctions. This notion appears in many books, but even so, it's a very difficult concept to understand. At least for mortal beings, this is a serious inconvenience that cannot simply be ignored." While we see scenes of Matsuri, and Konohamaru says, "You should also be able to hear the alarms going off due to our instinct. They are telling us to understand this dangerous phenomenon known as love and conquer it." Page 31. The scene returns to Sarada's group. They are looking for Ryu. Yodo says she can hear him. He is above them in the sky. Araya tells them to prepare. He will use his sword to materialize him again. Then, on page 32, Ryu materializes, says, "Hiding from us is meaningless." But something catches Yodo's attention. Page 32. From Ryu's body, several claw grimes emerge. This catches Sarada's attention. Page 33. At that moment, Mitsuki immediately uses several snakes to attack the claw grimes that appeared, hitting many of them. Sarada burns them with Keitan. Pages 34 and 35. However, there are still too many. leaving Mitsuki frustrated. Damn, we can't take them all down. There are too many. One of them attacks Yodo from behind. But Araya cuts it down. Page 36. While they are busy being attacked by many claw grimes, Ryu attacks. He is focused on taking Araya's sword, and he manages to do it because it got stuck in one of the claw grimes. Final pages. Araya realizes that everything Ryu did was to steal his katana. Ryu confirms it and says that now Araya has no way to fight against his Iron Sand. Sarada says, "This is really bad." The chapter ends with Konohamaru about to be swallowed by Matsuri. She says, "The time has come for us to become one. Konohamaru-chan." Final text. Advantage turns into disadvantage. What techniques can they use to overcome the Shinju who have revealed their fangs? End of the chapter. That was the narrated chapter of BORUTO 2 Blue Vortex 19. This chapter will be officially released on the 20th and 30th. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. See you next time, and thanks for watching.